Kieran, very exciting game coming up tomorrow. How are you and the team feeling?
Yeah, we're super pumped for this one. We've had a really good training week. Boys have been on fire this weekend. Coming out of what we think was a really good performance against the Reds. Coming into this game, we're ready to lift to that next level. So we've seen improvements in our last two games, and we know that we can go those extra steps in this game. So everyone's really raring to go.
How have the last two games been for you? They were both very close games, but we very narrowly missed out. How does that feel for you?
That is frustrating. But as I said just before, like our improvements over this past two games have been really good. We came out versus the Tars with certain sort of feelings of how the games are going to go and how like they were going to be reffed. And then we've come into the game and it's felt a bit different. And then we've come to the Reds with a different sort of feel, and you could see a vast improvement in how we played and how we sort of approached those games. And if we're able to in both those games, if we're able to take our chances, and just keep applying the pressure and keep take our opportunities, then I think the results could have gone a different way. So those are learning things. Those are learning opportunities for our team, for our young boys, and taking that forward into this game versus a very well drilled Brumbies pack a team. Then that's something that's that next step up for us.
G'day, Kieran. It's Justin Chadwick here from AAP. How you doing?
Good, mate. How are you?
Really well. Just in terms of the front row that you guys are going to come up against, it's pretty powerful. What goes through your mind when you look at the names there?
There's a lot of respect there, but for us, there's a lot of opportunity. It's a very good front row, but we see it as just as a challenge, and with any challenge, there's opportunity to to prove ourselves and to you want to be the best. You got to come up against the best. So. We showed last weekend, we're able to what we could do versus the Red scrum. We feel we could have gone even better there, and we've just improved again this week. So coming up against this front row, it's a Wallaby front row. So if we can have a great day out against them, then we can just be super proud of that, and we can set our team up for success.
What have you made of Angus and Folletti so far this season? I mean, you've seen them close-hand at training and whatnot. What can you tell us about those two?
I can tell you that their growth has just been huge. Through the start of the year, through pre-season, stuff like that, building into our first game. And then from that point in time up to now, just our ability to work together as a front three, and those two especially, the work they did on the weekend was massive. And you can just feel the confidence that they got out of that. You see Wags did just some brilliant stuff with his tackling, and he was over the ball a few times on the weekend. And Folletti's his power and his ability to run and hit lines real hard around the field. Those guys are awesome. But then the fact that they come together and they worked really well together on when was it, Friday night, to deal with the Red scrum, who has literally walked through the last like two scrums. They got one penalty against us, and I'll say it's a questionable one. But we did a great job against them, and that is a lot down to them, and a lot down to the adjustments that they made and the energy that they sort of bring in. So if I can be there as like a bit of an older head to help guide them through where they are now, that's just icing on the cake for me, because their improvements have just been awesome, and I'm super happy for what they're doing, and I can't wait to see actually what their ceiling actually is, because it's a long way away. They've got so much more growth to go.
Kieran, sorry, have you got me, Kieran?
Yeah, g'day. Hey, mate.
Yeah, mate. You just mentioned there you're probably the most experienced of the starting three. Are you enjoying that leadership role that presumably you're taking with the young fellas?
Yeah, well, it's sort of the leadership role is, it's there just in in sort of just chatting to the boys and just being that sort of just that voice in like the quiet moments, I suppose. But it's getting to the point now where boys are knowing their stuff, and they're knowing their drill. And like just the other day, I'm having Folletti like calling me back into position like on a training paddock. So you know, like as once boys are around like their stuff and they're confident in what they're doing, then they're able to help other guys out. And that's what I'm finding. And that's that growth that I'm finding with everyone else. So everyone's starting to really get their stuff nailed down, that if anything, if they can spot anything out, then they can, you know, they can pick that up quickly. So yeah, like being that older head, like that's cool. But man, I'm still getting nervous as anything for these games because I want us to do well. So yeah, if I can bring that confidence of being, you know, being able to lock down that scrum and just being dominant in that position and letting other guys do their work, then, you know, that's what I can do.
Just one more from me then, just in terms of seeing Richard debut off the bench this week. How excited are you guys to see what he can bring? Yeah,
it's super exciting to get Cax in. He's come into the squad and he's been energetic and he's been really, you know, really helpful and really worked with the guys and really open to, you know, to being part of the group. And just we had a little presentation early this morning about his jersey, and you could just see how excited he was to, you know, be back in super footy, to be back with a group like this, to be back with a group that is as open as we are and as welcoming. And so to get him on the field and see what he can bring, and that's the thing, that's a lot of experience back in that back line as well. So, you know, you got the couple of older. I think that's a real bonus that we have in our team. We've got a few older heads sprinkled around with a lot of young, ridiculous talent littered around him. So, yeah, like him when he comes off that bench, I know he's going to be absolutely firing.
Yeah, your coach mentioned yesterday that he's been taking his shirt off a lot of training just to prove that he's still fit despite his age. Yeah. He literally was walking back off from. We were trying to get in the vans to go, and he's walking down, and I had to yell at him to calm down. Like it was quite intimidating, so I had to scuttle off the other way pretty quickly. Yeah. Cool. Thanks so much for all that.
Cheers.
But just one more. You go back long with the Brumbies, obviously, they're a bit of a bogey side for you guys. Is that feeling you confident you can turn it around in this one?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that as I said, like our growth of the past two games has just, you can see we've leveled up each game, and we're planning on doing that again this week. We're planning, we've sorted our lineup out again. We got messages after that first game from Tess back in Perth saying that you could hear our line-out call. So we had to change the way we did our line-out calling structure, and so we're doing a different thing now. So we took that into the Reds game, and now we've been doing that for 2 weeks. So we've got that now. Our line-out sharp, our scrum, we take that confidence to that. Our back line is electric. The way we play is quick. We've got all the ingredients we need to be able to do a job on these guys. So we just need to go down there and just put the work in and really nail those key moments to keep the pressure on.